you do when you're trying to figure out if you should transition from one role to another role? Or if you're trying to figure out if you should switch from one company to another company, how do you actually get going on that? What do you do? I get this question asked all the time. And I think it's so important for you to make sure that you know who you are and what you want before you start transitioning and thinking about going somewhere else and getting more money or going and working on a different thing. Like, you got to know what's most important to you. So the first thing that I want to give you 4 tips today on what you can do in that position. All right, so let's kick it off. So the first thing that we can do when we're trying to figure out is, I want you to start thinking about like getting clarity. Now, I talk about getting clarity. I have a course for it. It's $10. It's super fast and efficient way of answering 6 questions about who you are, how you identify, what your purpose is, what your kryptonite is, what are your priorities, how do you want to show up and interact with other people, and what success looks like. So you got to answer all those things. I know, a mouthful, right? But after you get through that process, you can unlock another level of clarity, another level of awareness. But then what we need to start thinking about is where you want to spend your time. Like, when you think about your purpose and your priorities are going to change based on where you're focusing your time, or where you're going to be, like what team you're going to be wanting to work on, or what project you're going to be working on. Those priorities will change. But what won't change, or at least not so much, is just where your passion lies. Like, what are the things that really excite you and drive you? Whether it's in the health industry, whether it's in NFT industry, whether it's in personal development, whether it's in learning and development, gaming, technology, music, whatever. Figure it out. Figure out where you want to be. What team or environment do you want to be playing in? Once you know that, then we go swap mode and starting to really understand what those companies need, what they desire, what they're trying to do, what problems they're trying to solve. And then you go deep in your research and figuring out, like, well, what companies do that? What companies are the best at this? What are their teams like? What are the processes like? How long have they been in business? What is the culture like in those companies? Start asking those questions. After you start asking those questions, right? Because that's the second thing. We've gotten clarity. We're starting to understand the processes and like where we want to play. Now what we need to do is think about, where do we want to be at in the next 3, 5, 10 years? And I know you might like, I don't want to think that far ahead, but you got to think that far ahead. Think about, you're going to be spending your effort, your time, your hours of your life. Make sure that you're working in an area that really speaks to you, that really excites you, that really like motivates you. And then what you can do is you can start working backwards and looking at, oh, well, what's it going to take for me to get that role? What can I do to kind of keep an eye on the 4 or 5 top companies that I want to work for? And how can I make sure that I'm prepared when that opportunity comes up? Now, you might not have the skills yet to be at the role that you want to be at for those positions, but you can make a development plan. You can start working on that, because even if you can't get it right now this year, is it going to be worth it to work and practice and develop the skills that you want to develop so you can get that role a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 3 years from now? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's worth it. It's worth the time to have your dream job, to have, an environment that lifts you up and excites you every single day, because that is a much better way. I'm just saying. I've had a lot of experience in this, and going from role to role and role to role and jumping around, but doing it in a meaningful and purpose-driven way. Now, I just want to encourage you to get on the game and start understanding clarity, getting clarity about yourself. Then start thinking about which companies you want to work for before you start just go transition. If you're getting offered another 20, 30K and you really need it to survive, I totally get it. I totally understand it. But the challenge with that is, you get invested in these teams, you get invested in the relationships. Make sure you're invested in a genre or a themed environment in business that you really care about. That way you can save everybody a lot of time and energy in the long run, because you're working on the things that really lift you up, that drive you, that motivate you, that the problems that you want to solve every day. That's where you need to be, because you're a creator, you're a maker, you're a designer, you're a builder, you're a business owner. Like, work in the areas that lift you up. And that's just what I want to leave you with today. So I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And if you like this sort of coaching and content, we got a lot of stuff over at nextlevelux.me. Go check it out. And if you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn. I'd love to hear from you. So have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. All right, peace.